shareholders party, and that's all going to make sense by the end of this AMA. 115. What do you think? How much longer should we? Anybody got any opinion on when we should get started? How many people we should wait for, or we just get going? And I don't want to leave anybody out, because honestly, I do these calls till 3 a.m. every night. I'm
Hey,
always
Casey,
here.
sorry to interrupt.
Hey, Karen.
Do you know how to start the recording, or is it already doing that for us?
I already started it, Carrie. So
Awesome.
Yep.
Thank you.
I don't. I don't know how to do anything. So that's the funny stuff, guys. Whenever you guys ever see any FUD about anything at all, guys, I can't even stop a bot from coming into the Telegram room, and that's the truth. Ask the team, ask anybody that knows me. I can't even stop a bot. I don't know how to change Telegram names. I don't know how to do anything, barely. So that stuff's hilarious. If you ever see me laughing about that kind of crap, it's really, really cool. It's funny, because I have no understanding of that kind of stuff. I'm more of a concept developer. I can come up with ideas and all that, and basically bounce them off of Ghost and Sean, and then they're like, yes, it works. No, it don't work. Yes, it works. And then finally, like, okay, Casey, you got it. It works. We got this. Boom. And then we got started. You know what I mean? And that's how the ecosystem began. And, we started from the beginning. We already went over all that stuff. What was the passion behind it and the reason behind it. And, we're there now. So now we want to give you the science behind it. And the science behind it is going to be, everybody keeps seeing the word Dex runner, and they keep seeing the word seeding and staking, and they keep seeing the word Nucleus zero. And I want to explain all of that here. That's the whole ecosystem and what that is. So I'm going to start with the platform Dex runner. I know we're a Nucleus right now, but I want to explain something, and it all come together in the end. Dex runner is going to be the platform. It's going to be a social platform that is allowed to be advertised properly, marketed properly. It's going to be on places like Cody, can you mute? So then what that means for everybody right off the bat is that this is an actual business. So that's what I need everybody to understand. DexRunner is going to be an actual business, a social platform for the crypto enthusiasts, the crypto world, and everything. Because you're not allowed to really advertise cryptocurrencies properly. So we really can't. Everybody says when marketing, right? What do you want? I don't know what everybody thinks. Marketing is Telegram, Instagram, Twitter, social, and Facebook, and Discord, and WhatsApp, right? There's billions of people in the world that do not check that kind of stuff and have no idea. So first and foremost, marketing is going to come when Dex Runner's here, because we can market it properly. Stuff like pay-per-click on Google, stuff like, like getting real eyes on it. And it's going to be a business. It's going to be a platform that highlights and showcases and launches and has all different functions of crypto for people in a safe place. It's going to be a safe passage, a safe bridge way, a safe whatever way you want to call it, into crypto, into DeFi. Now, because anybody can go on the on Coinbase.com and buy whatever they want, but you can't get on the Coinbase.com and get a no micro crypto launch. Like, it's just never going to happen. So we're going to make it safe for everybody. Secondly, what we want to understand, I want to explain, is the ecosystem part behind that. First and foremost, it's going to be called, like, the Dex runner with the seeding. We came up with something called Dex. I think it's Dex Rash or Dex Ratio, or some of the guys on the team can drop some of this stuff into the chat room as we go to kind of give more of a visual examples. The new white papers there for the for Nucleus and the roadmaps and stuff like that. But Dex Rash is going to be this. It's going to be the first ever share token. It's going to act as an LP token. Like, people, if anybody knows what an LP token does, well, an LP token constantly takes pieces of every transaction, and it distributes it. Well, everybody that owns a Dex runner token is going to be a shareholder of Dex runner. And what that means for everybody is that one person selling their shares is not going to have an impact on the next person's bag, because everybody's going to own their shares individually. When you sell your shares, it just goes back on the open market. So this is the first ever share token that will ever hit the market. It's going to work in that fashion. The reason it's going to work in that fashion is we're basically made our own sort of wrap, but we're not using Uniswap to make our liquid pool. We did it ourselves. We came up, so there's not going to be the gas fees, there's not going to be the taxes or any of that kind of stuff. It's just going. We're going to wrap it, and you're going to have your token. And if you were to want to sell it, your shares, and unwrap it, it's going to come from like 3 different directions. So even if you had, which almost nobody can, had enough shares to impact something, it would get divided 3 different ways and still not impact the chart. So that's the reason cryptocurrencies cannot really back a business, because anybody can come in hostily with the most money, buy the most supply, and own the company at that point. This is not going to be possible. 50% of the supply will be released to the public. The very small amount will be kept as owner shares and locked, and the rest of it will be for sale through this seeding event. We're going to be a max purchase amount. You know what I mean? You can't buy enough to do that to anybody either. So, with that being said, that's where the security comes in of getting involved in Dex Runner. Where the income comes is all of the stuff that happens, all the transactions that happen, just like if you own Facebook, all of the people that pay money to advertise, do this, that, and the third, the same exact situation. Everybody that launches off the launch pad, anybody that uses the liquid locker, anybody that uses any transaction fee that's involved is going to be dispersed throughout as a dividend to everybody daily into their Dex Runner token, their Dex Runner share, their share token. Now, that will secure that part of it. The second part a lot of people ask about is this Nucleus Zero. Nucleus Zero is the next step for Nucleus. Now, if you are aware of what the criteria is for us to be on a central exchange, there's a few different criteria, one of them being a zero tax. We're going to make Nucleus Zero the zero tax token. And while we're doing this, you're going to be allowed to stake and lock your Nucleus at the price point that you're at now, basically meaning stop looking at the fiat value of what your bag says right now, because we all know how that goes. It doesn't come out to be the same thing when you're done. We're going to make it a way that you can get the same thing. And how we're going to do that is very simple. It's you lock up those tokens. So if you have 20 billion tokens locked up in the staking side and you have 15 million or billion on the other side, good for you, because when it opens up and Nucleus Zero is launched and the CEX has purchased the big supply, there's not going to be a price impact anymore. Everybody can go to town, right? It's going to go at a higher price. It's going to go at a much higher price. A couple zeros gone, actually. That's going to be done with the seed money that's raised, the liquid pools that we have, and we've been building so many funds for you guys that you're not aware of. We have been with that the program. Why everyone wants to know how and why we constantly are raising. You watch people nuke our chart now for 4 weeks. People have tried to nuke the chart, and it always comes back. A lot of it goes to the community. Props, bravo community for not letting them scare you out. Secondly, it's programmed to do that because every little thing that happens, we've been building safety nets for everybody. Basically, there is about 3 safety nets already in place for Nucleus itself. We've done this and we've tested and ran it for so long to make sure that we were able to deliver on these promises, just like the promises that I've made. When I made an announcement or whatever I said, I absolutely did my best to deliver, and I think everything except for maybe like a time, like I might be late to deliver a prize or something like that, but like we've made sure that everything that we delivered to everybody has been something that was real. It was more than a concept. It was a product. It was more than a concept. It was or an idea. There was science and economics behind it to prove it, to help it, and to do what it did. And I think Nucleus, how was it been alive? 35 days, 40 days? I don't know. It's it's done nothing but rise. I mean, throughout the whole time. And that's because of the program that the wonderful developers we have wrote, and it was programmed properly, So those are those are kind of the quick New York minute. And I'd rather you guys ask questions because I understand it. I helped come up with the concept and the plan, the idea, the production and development. Everyone else in the public is the people that need to understand more. So I would really like to open it up early for questions and then cover that kind of stuff. And maybe at that point, everybody understands. And if not, I have a few other people here that can say it in multiple different terms. Everybody from high-end financial educated people to the technology behind it with Ghost and Sean as the developers. So we're all here to make sure that everybody understands exactly what to do, what can be done with it, and what we would recommend you do with it, and what we're doing with it to get paid. Um, we haven't skimmed, and the reason we haven't skimmed is because when Nucleus Zero launches, it's about how many tokens you have, not how much you think your bag was worth. Because when Nucleus Zero launches at a price with a couple zeros missing, it's not going to matter what it said 3 months ago. It's going to matter what it says that day, right? And it's only going to matter how many tokens you have at that point, because that's the true way of trading crypto and DeFi. It's tokens. So many people. I had a guy call me last night, and I went over it with him, and no fault of his own. He does like the max buy. He never seems to work out, and it used to happen to me too. And he hits point. He does the max buy, and he does like, I'm going to ape in with an ETH. Well, the max buy was 2,500,000 tokens, and it really was only 0.10 to buy that. So people don't understand that they're trading fiat against tokens, and that's what we're trying to get you to understand, teach, educate, and that if that's done properly, in a couple of weeks, days, months, or whatever the case these rounds take, everybody's going to have a token worth a lot more money than they had today. So that's why I personally don't shave, because to me, I'm shaving at a loss. I already know what the new number is going to be. So why would I sell you if I already know that it's planned, it's programmed, and going to happen, and there's everything but a date set? And the only reason the date's not set is because we have this first event to do, and that's the IDO, the initial development offering. That's what's going to open tomorrow. It's going to be a 4-round event. The first round, we're looking to raise $5 million, and that's going to be a vetted process. And basically, someone that can purchase that percentage of a share, they're in the vetting behind that is going to be that they understand that they're going to be holding a lot of money in their hand when this opens, and we want people that it won't matter to as much, I should say. Like they'll know how to, like, there's people that already called me and they've never seen this much money in their lives that's in their bag right now. And they're like, what do I do? I could hit swap right now and change my own. It would be life changing. And I explained to them, yes, it probably would, right? But secondly, what it would be also would be more life changing would be a passive income for the rest of your life, and that's the goal we're looking for here. Because the unity part, what we started at, was let's get everybody in DeFi together that knows what they're doing and basically educate them. Can somebody mute their phone, whoever's washing dishes? So sorry about that. I wasn't trying to be cocky. It was loud. So that's what we wanted to do here tonight, is leave this open for everybody to kind of ask questions that were the unknown, or any of this stuff that isn't making sense to you. I want to be able to be here to answer those questions. If I missed anything, please too bring it up. I'm here to answer those questions as well. So honestly, I'd like to open it up right away for questions. Is there a function that I have to push to let people speak, or can anybody unmute themselves?
See, I think everyone can unmute themselves, and we'll allow to speak the people like who anyone wants to speak. They can press ask to speak, and we can allow them. Yeah.
Can you hear
There
me?
you go, Frank. Go ahead.
Oh, nice. What's up, buddy? Well,
up?
man, everything sounds great, man. First of all, you guys have been doing a great job, man. Very excited, and I'm still myself trying to understand most of this. So, for like for the max return, I'm gonna want to lock those tokens up. Basically, am I understanding this right? Or
Yeah, that's what we're doing. I don't want to sound like a financial advisor, a dictator, a promoter, or a shill here. What I'm telling you is, we as a team bought in just like you did. We didn't have any team allocations. So if we wanted to make money, our thing would be right to sell eventually at these all-time highs, correct? That's
Yeah.
the only way we would get our money. The reason we haven't sold is because we know that there's a price for Nucleus Zero that's going to launch. And it's going to mean that how many tokens you have, it's just going to be it's going to be an immediate swap with no tax. On the platform, you're going to just push a button and it changes it to Nucleus Zero.
Yeah.
And at that point, you have, if you have 20 billion tokens at the cost now, imagine 20 billion tokens value missing 2 zeros.
Yeah.
Just imagine, that's why I'm not selling. That's my point. Like, I know that Nucleus Zero is launching when this is all done, when this seeding is done, and I know that the new price is a lot higher. So I'm not looking at the value of my bag right now. What I'm looking at is how many tokens I have, because that's how I know how much money I'm really going to have in in a couple weeks or month or whatever it takes to fill these rounds up.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
Do you know when seeding is?
So this Nucleus Zero has a different contract number?
It's definitely going to have a different. It's going to have a different contract. It's not going to be in the sense that it's going to be people like having to import and do all this stuff. You're not going to have to go through Uniswap to get it. Other people will buy it. The real end game goal is to have it ready for the CEX. And that's why we're raising the money that we're raising and doing the volume that we're doing, and holding on to the liquid that we have and doing everything we have to do to meet the criteria to be on a central exchange. Now, when you go on a central exchange, they buy the tokens wholesale. They have to buy up the supply so they can sell it. What that means is everybody's getting a raise right away when that happens, right? Plus, the other liquid will be injecting into this token. So you push a button on the platform, and it's just going to release. The tax is going to be released. That's all it's going to happen. The tax gets released, and you still have the same amount of tokens at a higher price.
Do we lose our Nucleus token, the regular one, and it will change to Nucleus Zero?
I'm sorry, what's that?
Would we lose our regular Nucleus token?
No. No, that's the point.
I think, Casey, so this is what people are a little bit confused about. I hope you guys can hear me clearly. So what's going to happen is that you're going to go into this platform. You're going to say, okay, you're going to click a button. Your Nucleus is going to go into that platform. You're going to get Nucleus Zero. And the Nucleus Zero you get, it's going to be at a higher value than the Nucleus you sent in.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So that when Nucleus Zero launches, it would be launching at a higher value than what the value of Nucleus is. And we have system in place to make sure that happens. We have these funds that are building up to make sure that happens. And another thing is that the reason why we are completely giving you this is that Nucleus Zero, it's not going to have any tax on transaction, no tax on buys, no tax on sells, and it's going to have lower gas fees to transfers as well. Because Nucleus, when it launched, it was a fair launch token, and we all know fair launch tokens that launch with a low liquidity need certain features in there that to prevent bad things from happening. But when Nucleus goes into a central exchange, it doesn't need those features. So you don't need to be paying gas for those extra features, those complexities. And that's why we are changing Nucleus directly into Nucleus Zero. You all get your exact same token amounts you have and Nucleus Zero. If you have 1,000 tokens in Nucleus, you will get 1,000 tokens in Nucleus Zero. But that 1,000 tokens you get in Nucleus Zero will be at a higher value than the 1,000 tokens you put into it.
Hey, quick question. So, and this might help out everybody as well. Kind of a silly comparison, but when you go to a carnival, you take cash, then you buy tokens, and then you're able to use those tokens to then get on rides. Is that
Yeah,
basically going to be the same situation for Nucleus Zero, to where then you'll be able to purchase rides, for example?
I mean, that's a really good comparison. If let's say let's take it a little bit further. You buy $10, you pay $10 and you get $11 worth of tickets. How about that?
Right. Okay. Cool. And then so Nucleus Zero is technically the tickets that you buy for the rides, and then you're able to use those tokens or those tickets to purchase any rides that you guys have inside Nucleus.
Yeah, and it will also be It will also be this tradable token. Basically, Nucleus Zero will replace this taxed gas fee Nucleus token.
Perfect. Thanks, man.
Thank you for that comparison. I feel like that's a much simpler way of explaining that.
Yeah, definitely. Somebody told me a close friend of mine told me a long time ago with Uniswap, and it's the easiest way for me to explain Uniswap as well. So I figured it was similar to what you guys are doing.
Exactly.
Hi. Sorry, I had a question about this Dex Runner shares. Could you kind of walk me through the relationship between the Nucleus that I have, what these Dex Runner shares are? Do I need to do anything to participate in the Dex Runner shares? Just a little clarity on that ambiguity, please.
So there's the initial development of offering, or the idea, or the ICO that's starting tomorrow, and that's to raise funds for this Nucleus conversion, the Dex Runner platform, and the services and everything. So when we raise funds, if you raise funds in real world for a company, when you raise funds, the investors get the shares of that company. Here, DexRSH, or the Dex Runner shares, does this exact same thing. It's a share token. So when you purchase your tokens from the ICO that's starting tomorrow, you will also get this. If you purchase 100 Dex Runner tokens, you will also get 100 Dex Runner shares, and those Dex Runner shares are going to have a set value that's going to keep increasing with the profit that's getting added from that. So the difference between someone who buys in the ICO that's starting tomorrow and someone who buys Dex Runner later is that when you buy in the ICO tomorrow, you're getting those Dex Runner shares alongside those Dex Runner tokens. The only way after the ICO is complete, after all those that 50% shares, the Dex Runner share, this Dex Runner platform has 400 million shares, and 50% of that is going into the ICO tomorrow. And after that 50% is sold, the only way someone can buy those shares is by buying it off of someone who has those shares, or buy it when someone else sells those shares, because that's a limited amount. The only way you can directly buy it at the cheapest price is going to be through the ICO tomorrow. And what that does is that, if you check on the chat, I think I tried to make it simple, because I know when I try to go into detail, it's kind of hard to understand. So I tried to make it a simple script on there. But let me say something like this: someone buys 1% of the tokens offered in the ICO tomorrow. I'm just going to say, someone buys 1% of the tokens offered in the ICO tomorrow. That person is going to get 5% of, no, not 5%. That person is going to get
It was 5%, wasn't it?
2.5%. Yeah, 2.5% worth of Dex Runner shares. So you're going to get, if you buy 1% of Dex Runner tokens, you get 2.5% of Dex Runner shares. And that means for the rest of your life, you're going to get 2.5% of the total profit of Dex Runner platform for the rest of your life. Those shares will only increase in value. If someone else says that now people are all bought these shares, someone wants to, okay, I want to cash out my shares, I want to sell this to someone else, or I want to sell this back to Dex Runner. Okay, what you do is you cash out your shares to that set fixed price of your share value. Whatever someone else does, even if someone sells, like even if 10% of the shareholders sell off their shares, the other 10% is not, other 90% is not going to have any problem with their value, because it has a set value that increases. All these shares has a set value that increases with the value of the Dextrana platform. It's not traded on the open market. It's this is basically how share tokens or like shares in like stock market would work. I'm not going to say like bring in a comparison, but all I'm going to say is that the external shares is going to have a starting price, and it's only going to go up in value as the profits get added. It's never going to go below that set value.
Great.
Does everyone have the opportunity to buy it?
Everyone has the opportunity to buy it. Nucleus
Yes.
holders and Nucleus holders of a certain amount, like Nucleus holders has the opportunity to buy it at a cheaper price than the general public.
Okay, I see.
And so, as a Nucleus holder now, how do I, one, participate in the ICO, and two, do I have to participate in the ICO to see, I guess, the upside of the Nucleus?
Okay, it's a two-part question. It's a two-part answer. Okay.
Yeah.
And
So-
one being that that obviously it's a fair open market, right? So you can do whatever you please with it, and that's that. Or you can follow do what we're doing, because we're maximizing our return. We know what the value of it is. So the two answers is you could pick to just lock it into staking Dex Runner, or you could do it in Nucleus Zero. You can do what you'd like, but no, do you have to do? No, but if you want to get Nucleus Zero at that price, you're going to like to lock in your amount. You would have to do that. So what that means is if you lock 150 billion I'm just using numbers here. If you lock 150 billion tokens up, and right now the price is what it is, right? You can't lose your token amount. You can't panic sell it. You can't do nothing. So basically, you're locking it in at the same value, and the value is still so much lower than the new value that's coming out. So why would you do that? One, whatever happens over the next couple of weeks, that's great. Two, if you decide to come into Dex Runner in 2 weeks and the price is higher, it's going to cost you more money to buy the tokens necessary to get in. Because if the minimum is 5% pay of Nucleus, so whatever percent you buy in the first round, second round, third round, or fourth round, whatever the minimum purchase is, 5% of that has to be done with Nucleus. Now, if Nucleus costs is that a $30 million market cap by that date, you have to spend $10,000 basically to get the Nucleus that you need to get into Dex Runner. If you buy, like, now what you have now, you already bought the cheapest entry point. Like, every day it gets more expensive, and that's what we kept telling everybody from day one is this is the cheapest entry point into the project. This is the pre-sale to the pre-sale to the pre-sale. You know what I mean? Like, and ultimately we set it up that not like a normal pre-sale. We set it up as a share token in the end, where it doesn't matter on launch day what happens. Everybody you're only selling your shares, so there's no price impact anymore, and that's the beauty behind all this.
How much money do we need to put to participate in this Dex Runner token?
That's why there's going to be 4 rounds. So the first round is going to be the most expensive. And that's going to be, I'm going to let Ghost answer the percentages and numbers when we're done, because he has the evaluations. But there's going to be 4 rounds.
Off of that question, I'm just going to say like the smallest amount. Say you want to put $50, you can put $50 in. I'm gonna simply answer like that. Yeah, like, because we said it when we first started, we want to make sure that these investing opportunities are open for everyone, everyday trader, not the person who only has $20,000 to invest. So Index Runner, you want to invest $50 in, you want to buy $50 worth of tokens, you can. You want to buy $1,000 worth of tokens, you can. You want to buy $10,000 worth of tokens, you can basic any amount you want. But I think the minimum would be around $50 worth of tokens. I think there's like minimum set limit for like $40 or something, because it's an ICO and there are gas fees involved and everything, and we don't want someone to just pay more like whatever like this. But there is a small limit, like $40 of maximum.
Got it.
$40
Thanks.
minimum, yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to follow up. The mechanics of participating in the share tokens are in the Telegram chat. Are you going to post the instructions? Is there a website? Do I got to put my Visa card into something? What's the actual?
So that there again, there's going to be the 4 rounds. So tomorrow opens the first round, and that's the most expensive purchases. So we are going to give instructions that are round 2's open, round 3's open, and round 4's open. And that being said, the instructions will be there and on the website. So you'll be able to get all the instructions, and it's not going to be like a surprise thing, like, oh, we didn't know this was this day or that. It's going to be open for time. It's not going to open and close or you miss the boat. So it'll be announced, it'll be shilled, it'll be sent around. Like, everybody will know when it's their price point that they want to come in at, like, meaning what they want to stake or or invest, I should say. So that will keep you so informed. Like, the reason we're doing the AMA tonight is because tomorrow opens the IDO, and we wanted everybody to understand how to move through the IDO, navigate their way through it. We want everybody to understand what the outcome of it's going to be, and also understand exactly what we as a team are doing personally to maximize and gain our profits. There's so many more little science functions and features that are going to help you make passive income in this, and that's with all the collaborations and all that. But I'd rather us talk about the actual the 2 systems that are going to be open and available starting tomorrow, and then we can even go in deeper and let you understand how the revenue is going to be generated further and further.
Hi, I have some questions. So when this seeding is taking place, you've got 2 choices. I think you either convert your Nucleus to Nucleus Z, or you can buy DexRunner shares. Is that correct?
You can do both.
Yeah, correct.
So to convert my Nucleus to Nucleus 0, I'm just using the current.
So to convert that, the instructions will be provided for you guys as well, and it will be just you can go to there will be a link provided. You can go to that and you can just connect your wallet that has Nucleus, and click the exchange button, and you will get that amount of Nucleus 0 with a little bit of a bonus. Maybe I'm not gonna the bonus all that stuff will be released. I tend to release these things too early.
I probably leaked it to 20 people this week that called me in the middle of the night wondering what to do. There's enough people in this chat, I know for sure, that know the bonus.
Yeah, and it's going to be as simple as going into the platform and pressing a button. It's going to be simple as that.
Yes, it's going to be a very large injection. Go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt you, Casey.
Yeah.
I was curious. So for the people who want to do DexRunner tokens, it sounds like it'll be something. I know you said you're going to give instructions, but I just want to have stuff ready as well. Do you need Ethereum? Can you switch your Nucleus tokens for DexRunner? Is that not a good idea?
We don't want you to have to do that. Yeah, go ahead. We don't want you to have to do that. That's the whole point of the ecosystem, is not dropping one for another.
Yeah. So here's what's gonna happen. Nucleus 0 is going to get access to the platforms, going to have reducing supply, going to get value increasing. So say, okay, you have Nucleus 0, but you want to make more money. I mean, I know everyone here wants to make more money. Everyone here wants to make passive income. Everyone here wants to make a return, and everyone here wants to get into something that has a lower risk. Now, if you want that, you can spend, like, you can use ETH, and since this is like the lowest price is only for Nucleus holders, you'll spend ETH and use some of your Nucleus as well. You'll be using ETH, and the purchase, you buy 1,000 Dexrunner tokens and 1,000 Dexrunner shares. You'll pay ETH for the Dexrunner tokens, and you'll pay around say 200,000 Nucleus tokens for that as well. And you will get the Nucleus, sorry, you will get the Dexrunner tokens and the Dexrunner shares. Basically, we are giving you the opportunity to be able to make more money with a stop loss function, if that makes sense. Like, you know how we have these stop limits on like central exchanges, like that Dexrunner shares will have a starting value, and it's not going to go lower than that. It's going to keep climbing. It's a different concept. I'm not going to try to explain it because it's proprietary content, and I might end up confusing people even more. But think of it like that. It's an asset you will own that will only go up in value, and the way to buy that at the cheapest price is you use ETH and Nucleus. So it's like, this is an exclusive, we have this exclusive cheaper price for that asset for Nucleus holders.
Wait a minute. So if an outsider doesn't have a Nucleus token, they have to buy Nucleus token, then ETH to get to Nucleus Zero. Is that?
No. They have to
No.
buy the Nucleus token to get the Dex runner.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And
So
if they don't want to buy Nucleus token to get Dexrunner, they can pay a much higher price, and a higher price than
Oh,
the
okay.
Nucleus holders than to get Dexrunner. They will be able to buy Dexrunner without Nucleus tokens, but that's going to be a much higher price. I'd say
So
that.
the
I'm gonna
Nucleus,
stop it there.
the Nucleus
Yeah.
token will also rise then in that case.
Exactly.
correct. Yes.
So
And the
are
more
we
people that lock,
essentially?
the more people that lock, and the more people that lock the remaining Nucleus that they have for waiting for Nucleus Zero's launch, the more people that do that actually rise the floor. So I was explaining to somebody that basically, if the top 10 holders all lock their wallet, the remaining Nucleus, you're basically adding 1.5% to the floor each time they do that. So every time someone locks their a big supply like that, it secures that price. That it helps secure that floor. So if the top 10 holders all lock their entire amount of Nucleus between Dex Runner and Nucleus Zero, and in 6 weeks this whole event's over, like the whole seeding event's finished and everything launches, then you're basically you're already making everybody else purchase in at a higher price. You're making them do that beyond the price that we're already setting for them. So we're setting
And
you know what I mean? So we're setting a price. If we all lock our wallets today, I'm not sitting. I had to step away from the computer to plug my phone in, but I think it's at, like, we're very close to that 20 million mark. If we all of us here on this in the community locked our wallets today, the floor's stuck there. Anybody that wants to buy more, they have to pay more, and what that does is that pumps our value. So we're gonna be
yeah.
gaining value while you're waiting for this Nucleus Zero to happen anyway, and gaining dividends.
Can I ask a
And
couple of
another
quick
thing is
questions?
that, yeah.
So essentially, where you're saying we're going to be pairing ETH with Nucleus to get Dux Runner tokens at a better deal. Are we essentially creating a liquidity pair? Is that what we're doing?
Okay, so I'll go first, and then let Ghost second, because Ghost knows the technology. Ghost can do the technical part, and I'll do the part that is more for people that are like me, that wouldn't have understand what an LP token even was in the beginning. That's how the
Yeah, and I just have
concept
one other
of
quick
this.
question after. Thank you.
Okay, no worries. That's how the concept of it was created, because we had to give it away to make it a point that everybody felt safe. There's no sell off, there's no this, there's no that. We need to make it to a point that we want to secure and show everybody that there is a smart function to constantly earn, with that. Yes, it acts dynamically like an LP token, but it's going to be done in a share fashion. So a share token, we're calling it. So if we used Uniswap, we would have to pay the gas fees to make the LP token, correct? Well, that's not going to have to be a problem, because we made our own token called a share token, DexRash. I actually put like a little not a teaser, like a beta version example of what the page looks like in the main chat. And
Yeah,
what we're gonna
that's
do
from
is,
like a long time ago, but yeah, it's a
yeah,
new.
it's like I said, it's like
Yeah.
a beta version of, like, that was like an original raw version. But yes, it's going to create a token out of that, a share token though. So the value will remain exactly what we set, what it's set at. ETH can go wherever it goes. This can go. Everything can go wherever it went. We took it in at that price. We'll do, and then it becomes revenue for a business that everyone's going to get dividends on.
Mhm. Yeah, and something I might think would give an idea of like what it would be like and stuff. So say I don't know. I tend to look at like the minimum case scenario because of all the technical, but this is like the minimum case scenario of minimum income into the Dextran platform. If it's minimum income into the Dextran platform, the Dextran shareholders will be sharing around 150K a month. That's minimum. I have to and put that point. That's minimum income for the platform, and Dexrunner is up, the whole platform and all the services up and running. But that's just from the main 6 services of the platform. So that's just an idea about like how much of an income this platform gets, how much value this platform has, because the evaluation is something I would. And you can look at the white paper as well. There'll be the white paper for the platform, and the future will be released pretty soon, I think today or tomorrow. And all the information that's coming up, and the ICO page, it will have more information that you guys can go and look at about how things work, how these things happen. But basic, like Casey said, it's a share token. It's a share. It's like you're holding a share of this platform and you're getting the profit for that share. You hold 1% shares, you get 1% profit.
How
Appreciate
often does the dividends get paid out? Like monthly, every 3 months?
Monthly, it will
Daily,
be added
really.
into a platform. You can go into and take your dividends out, take your sell your shares. There'll be a separate platform where you can go and either sell your shares or take your dividends out.
And what happens to the Nucleus tokens that don't get transferred over to Nucleus Z?
So since Nucleus will be going away because Nucleus doesn't fit the criteria for the central exchanges, we are going to give everyone. We are going to keep that Nucleus to Nucleus Zero swap open forever. So even if you find out, okay, Nucleus changing to Nucleus Zero after like 6 months, you can still go into that platform and click on the button and get your Nucleus Zero.
Okay, so it'll still have value, I'm guessing.
In order to
But
buy,
I mean, I wouldn't advise keeping Nucleus after Nucleus goes zero, because if you're basically going to have a token that has, let's say, liquidity and zero taxes, and is going to go on central exchanges, and everyone knows what happens to tokens that go on central exchanges. They
So
boom.
basically just transfer all our tokens over to Nucleus Zero.
Exactly. I mean, that's what we will be doing, and you guys can reap the profits once it goes into the central exchanges. You know what happens to other tokens. So
Hey, Ghost. So
one.
to kind of clarify on that, so there's not necessarily any reason for you to keep just Nucleus. The ultimate goal would be
no,
to.
there is no reason. There is no reason for you to keep Nucleus.
Okay, perfect.
There's no reason to sell it. Don't confuse
Right.
anybody. Go.
Yeah, not
There's
sell it, but I
two
mean like
utilities. There's two
yeah.
utilities that are available for you to either divide or choose
Right.
from, however you want to do it. But you want to use one of the utilities for the max return.
Of course.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What
And how do
question?
you
Not
follow?
yeah.
What's to stop people that want to buy Dex Runner who've aped into Nucleus from selling the Nucleus to have more Ethereum to assist them in purchasing Dex Runner?
What's to
So
stop them?
Dexrunner
Not to
has
stop
a
them, but
maximum
that's
limit.
their
Yeah.
Well, first, I want to give everybody a little hint. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of this. There's an app coming out. It's called Rec, and whether there's the same name in the end or not, and it's going to have it's amazing. It's going to have limits, stop and buy limits that you can put into a swap, into a route, basically. So you can actually set your limits and go to bed at night and not have to worry about waking up to something just not there anymore. So that's part of the thing. And like when I've advised anybody so far is this: I said to them, basically what I'm doing personally is this, because I'm not a financial advisor, but this is how I'm setting up myself for the future. I'm going to put rect in, right? I'm going to use rect, and I'm going to set it at a limit that at each high every day, it just skims out at the most amount of money for the least amount of tokens per day, for as long as it possibly can. And if I have billions of tokens, I feel like that's going to go on for a really long time. I'm going to set it about an ETH a day. So that's how I'm going to get my ETH right there.
Okay, but my question is though, if I'm someone who put my entire pot into Nucleus and it's done great, but now I would rather be a shareholder, I'd rather be in Dex Runner, and I have no Ethereum left. Essentially, I need Ethereum to purchase Dex Runner.
Okay, so my
Yeah.
answer to
So
you would be wait for Nucleus 0 to launch, then sell it, then buy Dex Runner.
Got it. Okay.
there's going to be a way. This is just coming in the future. There's going to be a way like you can get some Dex Runner for your Nucleus. It's not going to be like you can exchange your Nucleus to Dex Runner directly. It will be like if you hold Nucleus 0, you will have these I'm gonna be dropping bomb like drops, and like say you will be getting Dex Runner, you'll be getting some stuff from Dex Runner. It's like that. But if you want the best price, I think the best choice is go with hold your Nucleus and use your Nucleus and get some more Dex Runner to basically add to your profit margin.
I want to try and squeak in a question if I can.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
So if you like tomorrow, say somebody converts their Nucleus to Nucleus 0, and obviously this process takes 2 months or so, and God forbid something happens a month from now, and somebody needs those funds. Is there a way to convert back if they need the cash out, or you're locked till the event's over?
I'm sorry.
Oh.
Can you repeat?
No. I understand where it's going. So the swap's going to be like when Nucleus to Nucleus 0, that swap you guys lock in, that swap happens. That swap won't be open tomorrow. That swap is going to happen within the next, while the ICO is going on, within the next month or next week or so, sort of like that. When the swap happens, the liquidity of Nucleus will be transferred to Nucleus 0. And you will have this day, like there will be sort of a cooldown period that allows everyone to get into Nucleus 0. So during that period, let's say it's like a week or 2 weeks, we will try to make it as short as possible, because we want to make sure that we announce it and inform everyone that okay, this swap is happening. But there will be a short time period that your Nucleus you won't be able to take out. But here's the thing: if you don't swap in there, after that swap happens, your Nucleus might be worthless, and you will have to again do it anyway. So it's your choice. But if you want to get it out the fastest, I would say putting into the swap as soon as possible, as soon as the swap goes live, would be the best choice in getting it out as fast as possible. So,
Okay,
but yeah, there is a sort of a
So in other words, your money's not really locked up for a long period of time, extended period of time. You're
we are going to
not opening up the Nucleus to Nucleus 0 swap essentially until you're a little closer to seeing it through.
To launching. Yeah, we are going to make sure that it's as short of a time as possible, but it will be launching with alongside the ICO.
Okay, cool. So I appreciate you guys.
Sorry, alongside the Dex Runner platform. Yeah, it will be launching alongside the Dex Runner platform. Yeah, sorry.
Before I forget, I want to just throw something to add to that, as a caveat, and it was basically about pooling their money. Ghost himself and myself and Sean and what we've been working on is the tokenomic behind the release, the initial release on the launch date as well. And our goal for everybody here is that you actually can pull day one as close as you can to your initial investment, out of the amount of tokens we release. off of your first release. You know what I mean? So we're really
Oh,
trying to make this
that's
so
Dex Runner.
beneficial for
Yeah,
everybody.
sorry about the listing. Yeah.
Yeah, but for the
Yeah.
Dex Runner
So
part of it. So, we're trying to release enough of your percentage of share that if you want your initial back and you want to sell part of your shares, you're welcome to upon release when it goes public. It's a public offering. So this is truly a pre-sale, like a public, like an initial public offering for invite only. Invite only meaning Nucleus holders.
Cool.
Casey.
That's
Yeah.
good. That's definitely good to know. And just a piece of advice before anybody else continues on: if you're not talking, mute yourself. You're giving a lot of feedback.
Hey, can you explain sex again?
Explain what?
the central exchanges.
Explain how they work. You mean, or you mean, are you referring to Rect or something else?
I haven't. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I didn't.
I have a question for you. So, all right. So, from what I understand, I have to have ETH if I want to get Dex Runner shares, right? Tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or there's going to be a way available that like you could do it through wire or transfer of USD, but it's going to have to be a little bit higher value because we still have to purchase the ETH to make this product. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So what kind of work have you guys done already on securing, I guess, spots in an exchange? And are you comfortable saying which exchanges you're looking at?
Not comfortable saying which exchanges because there's so many out there. And
that's the first thing we had to do is
own.
like sign an NDA because they don't want to, like, they advise do not tell anyone, because if you tell anyone, you will be taken off the list.
Yeah.
We are not allowed to advertise a potential listing.
Right, because they can pull out at any time.
Yeah.
And that's the same reason I never endorse anybody's collaborations until they're ready to also be side by side with me, so they can, validate the endorsement. And I never, I just feel like that's the most integrity, the honest way to give an announcement. But an essential exchange, yes. Which one? Can't promise it to you yet because we're not allowed.
Okay. Got it.
Here's the caveat to that. It doesn't matter which one it would be, honestly, because they have to buy the supply to sell it. They have to buy it. They have to buy the supply in order to sell it. It can't be a tax. So they have to have it in stock. That means. So when they make that purchase, your numbers are going flying sky high.
Hey Casey, when it comes with Nucleus Zero, just so it sounds like we have the starting price of that is going to be obviously, like we're saying, higher than the price of the current coin, whether it's 10x, 20x. Have you guys thought about, just playing devil's advocate?
Yeah,
we all know what happens when a price
we do
soars.
We thought about.
So is there any sell-off protection in place, like when you flip the switch and Nucleus Zero is ready to rock? That
multiple
okay.
things.
All right, cool.
Yeah, and a few
let me tell you three
setups.
Yeah, can tell you about what he's done in the background to make sure it as well. What I've done as like the normal everyday guy that would have to protect himself is I went out and found these collaborations and other apps that set limits and do stuff like that. Secondly, what we were doing is you are so much lower right now. Once the central exchange can sell it, I would almost rather the central exchange start selling it before I even unlock Nucleus Zero, because that's just going to raise the price, right? That's also going to that's going to force them to buy a bigger supply. So that's one protective part. Like if that it can only go to what they have it at. The second part is the collab is adding one of these collaborations. Especially, like I said, I'm going to keep saying it over and over because they're my choice, and I hope that we're theirs. Is the Rect app? It's going to set limits, so you can set your limits, upon launch day, right then and there, to convert it to do what it does at any point to protect yourself. So there's been multiple features put in place on my side alone, not even talking about the technical side that Ghost has involved, that will, it's not even like a pre-sale at this point. Like It's not even, it's a launch. It's a new launch, and you guys already have the token. That's the thing. So it's not the same as a pre-sale. You know what I mean? It's not like you're starting here and they're starting there. Like, you guys already have billions of a token that just isn't publicly released yet. That's all it is. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, just as like perfect example after today, you know, we got that 30th buy, and then you saw what happened right afterwards. Obviously, the chart's going back up, you know, as it's been since day one, because
Yeah,
you know this token is phenomenal. But you know, that's just once people see those and hear those numbers, like, you know, your current price is going to go from 10 to 20x. You know, that's the kind of first thing that popped in my head is, all right, what's going to stop an instant sell off? So that's all I was kind of trying to get at, though. So
yeah. Well, the instant
Awesome.
sell-off would be is that we educate on the DexRunner platform prior to launch, right? We educate a lot of people, especially newbies. And I don't say that with any disrespect, but the goal here is passive income. So you set, again, like I was saying, you set up an app like a limit app that just constantly scrapes the tops for you, and that would okay, here's a real prime example. I don't want any FUD out of this either. Please, 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 no FUD behind it. The wallet that everybody seems to not really like that much. If you're really paying attention, that wallet never goes below a certain price, value, a fiat value. It doesn't matter how much they sell. They sell 10 sometimes they sell 7 or 3 or 4. But the one thing that stays consistent is the value of their wallet. And they never, ever, ever have lost that value since they started for the 4 weeks. That person has taken, we all know how much ETH they've taken out. And that's what we want you to do too. So imagine that you feel like you need 10 ETH today. Okay, go get it. We want that available to you, because this Rect app, or an app, you know, like an app like that acts that way, those limits, it will do it for you, automated. It'll say at the top, it'll scrape out that 10 ETH for you at the least amount of tokens for the most amount of money. That's isn't that way better than like taking 300,000 right now? Would you take 300,000? Okay, here's the easy equation. This is a funny joke. It's a riddle. Would you take a penny a day doubling for a month, or $1 million? Which one would you take? I know the answer, but
How many months?
huh? A penny a day, 1 month, a penny a day,
penny a day.
Well, it's exponential, so the penny, right?
A penny.
Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Especially,
you know what I'm saying, right?
Yep,
Everybody here understands what I'm saying to you. By the time that month's over, it's like 10 million, or I can give you 1 million today.
That makes sense. I get it.
Yeah, that's the science. That's basically the easy science behind what we're trying to do for everybody, like, and do for ourselves, honestly, because we purchased in the exact same way as you. It was a total affair. Like, so, you know, our bags say the same things as yours do. You know what I mean? Like, so that's, you know, we all understand that. How do we make it better? And that's what the goal was.
Yeah. Another thing, some of the things we promised, right? Like we promised the staking, we promised the ICO platforms, the extract platforms, the bridges, the liquidity lockers, the marketplace for crypto services, and on top of that, you're gonna get a Nucleus forum, a discussion forum. You're gonna get an actual iOS and Android app, not a web app, an actual iOS and Android app for Nucleus 2. These are things that we didn't even promise, but well, our developers were like, why not give them everything? That's what's going behind the scenes. It's like our developers, our development teams, they're like, okay, why just give them something? Why not give them everything? They are trying to give you guys everything they can, and they are going to give you guys everything they can. And that's why when I talk about the external platform, I always talk about the main products like the service marketplace, the NFT platform, the liquidity locker, bridge, the X ratio platform, and the NFT gaming platforms. I talk about this stuff. I don't talk about the swaps, wallets, the payment brokerage system, like that ensures that if you pay for a service, you do get the service or your money back, that sort of thing. I don't talk about that stuff because we know that we are going to give you guys all of that stuff, but we want you guys to be happy with all that stuff too. And that's what I'm gonna say is like, we might have promised some things, but we are going to give you more than what we promised.
All right.
All right.
I
I have one question, just tagging on the, I guess, locking in our tokens. Is there going to be any sort of like divesting schedule, or will those all be available up front?
So Nucleus 0 tokens will be available upfront as soon as it goes to Nucleus 0. But if you stake Nucleus 0 tokens, you will have this staking times and all that stuff. For Dex Runner, they will be vested, like the liquidity additions will be vested, the token release will be vested, and all those token releases and the liquidity additions will be coinciding with each other, and they will coincide with the liquidity additions from the profit of the platform as well. So that will make sure that all the tokens that you guys buy and all the shares that you guys buy will be unlocked when the platform is 100%, like at the point of 100% completion of the platform, all your shares will be unlocked, all your tokens will be unlocked, and by that point, I think people will see the actual value of it and how much they actually get in return, and you will have the choice of, okay, do I want to keep getting this much return for the rest of my life, or am I gonna give up my share for this amount of price? You will have that choice, but it will be vested until it will be vested on a time schedule that coincides with the completion of the 100% completion of the platform and the products.
Let me just jump in and clarify, because I got messages after so I know, and that's why it actually works out in the end with me and Ghost, because he's like so technical and I'm so not technical. I'm like I speak like I know I speak bad. But the funny someone said, what were the point of I don't have to keep my you do. Well, you don't, like, there's no like law saying that, but you do need to keep your nucleus at what you bought it at now to stay involved in this project at the price that you're in, because like it's not like something that you're going to be able to change the or like hope for the price to get cheaper for it. That ends as of like now. That's over. So that was, we kept emphasizing that so much about this is the cheapest price point every day. When we said that, it wasn't about a promotion, a shill, a marketing campaign. It was the truth that this price point today that you see will not be here at some other time. And then eventually, as of now, basically, the IDO opens. That's that. Once these people put it in at that price, that's theirs. So that's it. So you absolutely do have to have used the nucleus as the utility one way or the other to maximize your return. Does that make any sense to anybody? That I know I saw a few banners come through of notifications on asking me to clarify that real quick. And anybody that asked that question, does that clear that up?
When Lambo.
When both. When shareholder party is the question. I want to meet everybody one day and like just shake everybody's hand and congratulate them and all that good stuff, because this thing is such a community thing that it's going to be a community owned project for us, the pioneers. We are all, believe it or not, we all are. Everybody here right now, everybody that's not even here right now, we're so early. Like once this, and that's the other thing like that I wanted to kind of, the public doesn't even really know yet, and the public's going to know when they start these little rules and regulations and all that kind of stuff. We're already ahead of that because we're doing a social platform that links all these people, But what the great part about that is that when they start putting rules and what that's going to do is that's going to bring interest to people and say, well, if they want to cut or if they want rules and regulations, I want to know why. And that means people are actually making a lot of money. It's going to bring a rush to micro crypto like you've never saw. So we're still pioneers. If there's 2 million of us in micro crypto or so, that's a drop in the bucket for the amount of people in the world. So like we're not even close to being there yet. Give it a year and watch how many more people are buying micro crypto.
Casey, quick question. So basically, when 0 comes out, we're going to convert our nucleus over to Nucleus 0, and then from there, how are you kind of integrating that into Rect? Are you saying that you're gonna use Rect as the platform for you to then trade Zero towards other tokens?
So
Oh, no.
personally, me, I can give you my answer. I don't know
Yeah.
what other people are going to do. I'll just give you my answer. My answer is this: um, Dex Runner would wants Rect on there, right? It wants Rect, so you can go right into there, and there's going to be a swap. There is going to be a way to get to swap into um, other micro cryptos. Sure, if you wanted to trade or do whatever you'd like. So say it's like I'd like, and it's not about any politic or anything. It's about the cost. Minty Swap, for instance, I know that that they might be at like different volumes or market cap, right? But his prices are set to be cheaper. So when he gets them there, I can't wait, and like he's Uniswap. I got so many messages with some of the FUD that happened in the last couple of days about taxes and stuff like that.
Right.
Uniswap takes a very big fee, whether everybody knows it or not, and
Absolutely.
it actually tells you before it does it. If you look at the bottom, it'll either be red, yellow, or gray of the percentage. Now, if it's yellow or red, you're paying an extra fee on top of the fee that they already charge. If it's gray, that's the only time you're going to pay their minimal fee. No matter what, they are taking their fee. Uniswap is. That has nothing to do with our taxes. It's Uniswap. So, with that being said, I know that there's the other swaps out there, someone like Minty Swap, that is making their fee 8% smaller than Uniswap's. Now, the goal for this whole thing, Dex Runner, and these collaborations in Unity is that, say, as example, Minty Swap integrates Rect into the swap. They set the limits. I want this token at this limit, and
Right.
I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep now. Or I want to sell at this limit, and I'm going to sleep now. Or I want to stop at this limit, and I'm going to bed now. That will be available in the actual swap.
So
Now,
technically, you're turning it into like Forex.
Forex?
Well,
Well,
with
I was using a
Forex.
different number. 4x is a minimum because anybody that's scaled something like that, it goes from 4 to 10x. It's right when you scale something in that type of way and maximized. It's usually between anybody that's scaled the business in the past or scaled an investment in the past. It goes from 4 to 10, times the amount. When you sell a
No,
business for certain businesses, like that's 10 times multiples. So yeah,
No,
4 being the
not
minimal.
not being like Forex, but like Forex trading, like
Forex
you know what
trading,
I'm
yeah,
talking
foreign
about?
exchange trading, yeah.
Okay. I
It's
thought you were talking about like the
so
minimum, how much the minimum
No.
return.
yeah.
Like, well, yeah, that's the
So
that's the minimal scale. 4 times is the
yeah.
minimal scale on a sale of a business. Yes.
So kind of like forex trading, but I see the thing is, Dextrana is going to have all these partners. So our audits are going to be done through like safe solidity and our limit sale functions, like our loss limit, and they will have like run through Rect. So all these partners, the reason why they are joining Dextrana, the reason why we want all those partners in there is that's what Dextrana is about, to make trading easier for people and make trading safer for people. So that's why all these partners are coming in to build that safest system, to make the best system you can invest in micro crypto, because all these systems are available in central exchanges like centralized crypto, but we don't have that in DeFi. So we are kind of, all these people who are bringing those features one by one, we are bringing them all together and adding the missing features ourselves. That's what Textrana is basically doing right now. And you all have a chance to own an actual profit share of that platform that's going to bring all of these services together. Imagine a centralized exchange going decentralized.
Yeah,
You
that's
have a
awesome.
chance to own a centralized exchange that's going decentralized with all those options you have in centralized exchanges, and on top of that you will have this crypto marketplace that developers and anyone in crypto can come and buy a crypto related service, any of the crypto related service. And even you might in the future, you might even have the chance to invest in real world projects using your crypto through Dextrana. And I'm not saying this because like it's a hope or something. It's because I'm saying this because there are those plans and there's things are already in motion. Everything I'm saying right now if I say in the future, it's already in motion. So you will have like chances to actually invest in real world projects through crypto, through DexRunner. So it's
Exactly. Can I
this
say
is
one little thing there?
yeah.
Yeah, no, I just want to say that was, yeah, you nailed it. You nailed it pretty well. But the way I've had a lot of people asking me, just with regards to different projects, like if everything was timed properly, if the calls were lined up, if everything worked out properly in a perfect world, without having to outsource, it'd be the best thing for DeFi, because there's so many projects that have some very good concepts, some good ideas behind it, but they're outsourcing their marketing, they're outsourcing everything. Where when you launch a project through DexRunner, you're essentially getting all that guaranteed, and it's safe, and it's going to be, put out at the right time. Everything is going to be very, very clean, stable, and essential for the proper launch of a project. So when you stake in DexRunner, you're gaining the profits from people investing in DexRunner, which is a very, very good project and thing to invest in, because when you launch with DexRunner, you're getting guaranteed services essentially without having to outsource. It's a whole team behind your project that you're paying for, as opposed to paying certain 0.5 ETH or whoever to these callers and hoping they make the right calls. So I think that's also going to help people understand that kind of the goal of where we're going with this, and we're exactly like you said, it's a stable concept that is taking away all that outsource and uncertainty, and you're getting solid product from us.
Did I mention, the other thing I mentioned, and being that this is a share token, we're calling it, and we're making it into a business, so everyone's going to have a passive income that decides to hold and stays involved. We're going to add a charity token for sure. Part of, we already basically let everybody know that we're going to put eArena. We're going to allow them to have a space on the DexRunner platform for wagering. Now, I'm using them as an example because they've already, agreed and announced and all that great stuff. And part of that is what any kind of site, any kind of token that has utility that involves a wager, a lottery, any of that, part of their fraction of their tax is going to go to the charity. What that means for everybody is basically at the end of the year, everyone's getting a slip that says they wrote X amount of money off. So if anybody's worried about how they're going to get their money back out, right? There's right off the bat, we're giving everybody the donation slip. Now, and secondly, other people are going to be part of it. Same thing. So any other collaborations that are agreeing are doing the same things in a different way. So say another token, we're just going to say a marketing token is highlighted in a collaboration, and their earnings have a tax or an income revenue that comes in on the daily. A percentage of their revenue is going to feed somebody else's liquid pool, and so on and so forth. So that completes not only the ecosystem, but it starts to tie everyone together, and it gives everybody a reason for for an investment, and teaches them it's not about how many of us, we all watched it happen. A lot of us, especially the ones that are in Telegram a lot in the community, we see it happen. We see them, they drop a bomb, and because they hear about a new launch or a new token, and they think they're going to go 100x it, and then they lose it all, right? So that's a part of the goal here, is to stop that from happening. You don't have to do that. You can literally be a part of all of it at once. You know what I mean? Like if everyone's feeding everything, so if this one's feeding that one, and that one's also adding to this one, and this one's adding to that one, so no matter, so you jump into something else, you're still feeding the same beast, is my point.
Yeah, you're gaining gains on gains essentially by
Yeah.
having
So
that. You're getting it's
instead of dropping one to get into the other, like what people always say about cost averaging, we're trying to get everybody to be able to cost average multiple tokens at a time, in a sense.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you want another token, you don't have to dump one to another. You buy the other one with your other ETH, and now you have two secured investments because they're both feeding each other.
Yeah,
Quick
which is
question.
what Arena is doing as well when they do Deacon plays. It's you can buy into it, and it's basically, like you said, feeding the beast.
Quick question for staking. How much APY do you think we might expect?
That's a loaded, not loaded. It's a tricky question and answer because
yeah,
you know, for one, it's basically it's more referring to of like a stock, like you know, a bond. I don't know, interest yield. You know, where this is a dividend off of transactions. So the more popular we get, the more money you make, and that's all that is. Because you're getting a percentage of a transaction, where APY isn't really like if so. And actually, in all actuality, it could hurt you if we were to do that too. If I said you're going to get this really amazing return, and we end up more profitable than that, and but you're not owed that because the smart contract doesn't do that for you. It doesn't send it like it's all done by a smart contract. So the smart contract, what that's going to do is it's going to send it to a different spot, and that's not going to go to it's not going to go out equally to all the investors. Does
yeah,
that make
that
sense?
makes sense. So it's more a dividend and less about APY.
Exactly. So if we put an AP, we thought about that. That was one of the first things that Ghost came back to me with was that's really hard with the AP because that was uh, my initial concept behind that ecosystem, and that was how Ghost explained it to me as well. And then you know we started learning, and then the more we thought about it, was like, well, then we're not doing a service to our community if we don't really you know offer them a full dividend, like a full cut. Then it's not a full redistribution of profits because that means
Yeah,
part of the profits are going to somebody that you know owners or whatever, and they're just kind of taking them away. We're trying. This is a community thing. Like it's an open market here. We're trying to do it for
yeah.
everybody.
Would we be
I
able to
mean,
stake
that's the thing.
both?
Like 50% of the platform is literally going to be owned by the community.
Yeah. Would we be able to stake both Dex Runner and Nucleus Z?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
For Dexrunner, you will get the return both in Dexrunner and ETH, and for Nucleus, you will get the return in ETH as they both will be dividend paying token. And if I use the word APY, I'm not gonna say it's an APY, but like the interest rate or your return, it will be provided. Like you will be when you go into the platform, you will have okay, this was the early like last month's return, and this is the predicted return, so that you will have that, but that will be considered like that will be like a running prediction. That will be like a running average. So it's not going to be a set average where like we say, okay, you only get this amount return no matter how much good the platform does. It will be like, okay, we did this much last month, and we are predicted to do this much last month, and if you want this return, you can stake. So it will be like that. You will be provided all the information, all the backend information as well.
Yeah, we talked about it this morning. I don't know if it was Sean or me and Ghost. That was one of us. It's good. We're basically going to put it. You're going to be able to see it in real time, and you're just going to be able to claim your dividend, and it's not a reward. So this isn't a reward that affects the liquid pool or the pooled token amount. This is a dividend, so you can go and claim your dividend whenever you want it. You know
It's
what I mean?
basically profit share. It doesn't take from the liquidity. It doesn't
Right.
take from the value. It only adds to the value. So it's a complete
Correct.
different system. I don't think this system has been used in crypto before. So that's one reason why we can talk about you know, the proprietary technologies behind that or the proprietary concepts behind that. But yeah, this is a completely different thing where we are essentially bringing into crypto asset that only goes up in value, which is something we are not used to in crypto.
So one of the questions that I got the other day was, how does all this tie up to in layer two? So how does the layer two come into play?
Well, it's a product.
Yeah, so layer two is one of our major focus points because of the gas fees and everything. So our products that we are providing for layer one are going to be for layer two compatible as well. And our investors will have the choice of using layer two for their transactions, for their buys, for their tokens, to trading everything. They will have the choice of using layer two, and we are going to provide all the products necessary necessary for layer 2 as well. It's so, think about all the products we are providing for layer 1, we are going to be providing them for layer 2 as well. But the difference in there is we are going to be the ones who are providing these products first for layer 2, and we are going to be the ones that are going to have the compatibility with layer 2 for all these products first. So you are investing in not just layer 1, you're not investing in just a layer 1 platform or not a layer 1 product, you're investing in a layer 1 and layer 2 product. So then I think me personally is going to be doing my transactions, my tradings in layer 2 once in 2022 it's completely settled and it's in place. I'm going to be using layer 2 mostly because I don't want to pay these layer 1 gas fees or the layer 1 fees. Compared to that, layer 2 is much cheaper. So that's why we are providing these products, these missing things in layer 2 through DexRunner. Like there's no really accountable payment system in layer 2. There's not a really accountable liquidity locker, not a really accountable pre-sale or ICO platform. So we are going to be providing all of that for layer 2, even layer 2 marketing, everything.
So,
Can I
Ghost, I got
also
a question
add to
for
the
you.
layer 2 thing? I just want to add to that how beneficial layer 2 could be and all that is how many people with the complete
ran out of Coke. Would you like something else?
water. I don't have
bottled water.
I don't care. Whatever it is. Oh, sorry. How many people came up with a concept, launched a token, all the greatest intentions? It was just either a bad contract, like there was a bug, a failed launch, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. How many people has that happened to, right? Where they actually have something that's deployed sitting there and it just isn't really tradable because there's nothing and no attention on it. Well, for those types of people, we have an answer for them now. We can actually migrate that to layer 2 and relaunch for them at fraction of the cost of what it would be to do on layer 1. So it's a two-part answer with that. Like not only about the new layer 2 products coming out, what about the old products in layer 1 that just didn't have enough money to do it, or just didn't have what it took, or it wasn't ready. So that stuff will be available. How many of us are in, like dead, like they love the concept, somebody nuked the chart, it's beat, and now like it's just they're just kind of stuck waiting for production, right? And it could take 2 years before that concept production is finished. Fortunately, we did it the other way around. We built the product before the concept. I mean, before we released the concept, I should say. But how many people of us, how many do we know that happened to, where layer 2 could really benefit people, other old investments, and bring them back to life?
Yeah, that's very
Can
true.
that dividend be reinvested back to your assets?
You can compound it,
Of course, you
sure.
can, yeah.
So, Casey, I got a question for you. This is Nino.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, so I think I'm starting to understand this. So essentially, and just kind of correct me if I'm wrong, essentially you guys are building like almost like a one-stop shop, like an Amazon for crypto, right? Everything can go through that. And
Basically,
the nucleus that I have now, essentially I want to own it now because it's a lot cheaper than I'll own it in the future. And I can swap it for Nucleus Zero, which will be on exchanges at a higher price, or I can swap 5% of it plus 95% ratio of ETH to the Dex Runner project, correct? And be like almost like a not an owner, but a shareholder that shares the revenue on that. Is that correct?
Exactly that. It's you can do both even. You can do both, and that's what I'm
Right.
doing. I'm doing both. I'm getting my percentage of Dex Runner because I want that dividend. I'm confident and I already know what this platform is going to look like you said, like an Amazon or a Facebook for crypto, whatever the case may be, whatever one you pick. But essentially, yes, you're going to be a shareholder, an owner of that actual business.
Right. So if it's let's say it's like 100% owned by 50% of it, and 100% of that is owned by the community. So like if it's $1 million that comes in, that gets split up evenly among those shares of the 50%, just like it would in any company, or
Yes. If you own 1%, if you own a 1% share, if you buy 1%, then you get 1%. If you own, whatever percentage you own, it will be that percentage of your dividend. and it'll be equally cut. Like it has to go equal. You know,
So
like
when I,
there's 100% of the profit, and
right. So once I swap
goes
that,
to,
so let me ask you though. So once I swap my Nucleus, let's say I go in and get, I don't know, some stupid like 5% or something, right? 10%. So I own that. So is that a token that's going to have a chart, or is that off chart trading, kind of like a, is that like ICO?
Share token. It's going to, there could be a chart
The
to
share
it, sure.
token will be off chart. Yeah, the share token will be off chart. It will have a separate platform that shows the value of your value of a single token, value of your tokens, where you can like go. Yeah, it will be on the Dextrana platform itself.
Because
So my
there's
value
no
won't be
impact.
changed with other cells.
Because it won't matter
Exactly.
about the impact
Got it.
either. Yeah.
Got it. Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you need to lock
Summed it up very well.
your Dex runner in order for you to get dividends and stuff?
So if you buy Dextrana shares, you already have it in the platform, but you can also on top of that you're getting on, like if you buy through the ICO, you're getting Dextrana tokens and your Dextrana shares. So those Dextrana tokens, again, you can stake in to get more dividends. So you can like you are already getting the dividends for the shares, and you can get more returns by staking the Dextrana tokens as well. So it's like we are offering you guys chances to make more and more and more on top of that, on top of that. Yeah.
Compound return. We're not using the word interest because as it grows, interest would just hold you back. Compound return.
Okay, your website is kind of hanging. Is
That's
this
not
gonna
the
be
website.
open tomorrow?
That
Oh.
That was we had to have something up. We had to secure the domain. The website is going to be the website. The goal, not the goal. The product is what you're going to as each product rolls out. That's another. So there's so many little things that we don't want to like confuse anybody. We wanted to just kind of give instructions on not instructions of the science and the tokenomic and the reasons behind how all this ecosystems work, but you're delving into that now, and I might as well just share it with you because these are all extra special features that you get with being a Nucleus holder in general, and being on the DexRunner platform. If you're a shareholder or not, just holding Nucleus gets you this status part where but as each product rolls out, there's going to be a launch to it, right? And all Nucleus holders will be involved, first in, and it'll be in a first in, first out type of setting, not like first in, we get to dump on everybody, first in, first out in the business setting type. You know what I mean? Like you're going to have access, VIP access to see these other projects.
I see. Okay, thank you.
And DexRunner itself has, I think, oh man, I get lost. It might be like 6 of its own products that will be launched over the next maybe
Minimum
6.
6.
Yeah,
Minimum
minimum
6.
of 6
And
over
I
the
mean,
next
right
6
now
to
it's
8 months.
at around 11 products, but minimum 6 that's going to be launching with it. The 6 main ones are the ones we've been talking from the beginning, but there's a lot more now.
Yeah, so that's another again, like I said, there's a lot more to talk about, but we wanted to make, because I've had this question a lot. What stops me? My bag says it's this much. What's stopping me from selling half of it and still getting into DexRunner? Well, nothing's stopping you, but you know what it is? What it is doing? You're hurting yourself. This is again, think of it as a raffle ticket or a ticket to get on the boardwalk, where you buy, if you pay $100, you get extra tickets, right? And if you buy only a small book, then you get like the ticket that equals 1 to 1, the dollar to dollar. Everybody now has the opportunity to, and it already has it. They got the big book for the cheapest price. And if you think of it that way,
there's incentive.
Yeah. So like now that all these
There's a
different
bonus
product
for
launches,
Nucleus holders,
yeah, through all these product launches
So-
now, you guys all have the chance to seed, pre-sale, whatever you want to call it, these product launches, in a first in, first out fashion of an investor.
It's like getting the alpha on a project launch and knowing what's coming, or having some sort of potential, or there's going to be incentives for people who are invested. And that being said, like current holders of Nucleus, so everybody that's in this chat or invested in Nucleus itself, there is going to be a bonus, and we're not going to reveal anything, but right now, but there is a bonus for it, with the whole entire setup to come, as Ghost explained in the web.
It almost sounds like once you convert from your Nucleus to Nucleus 0, you're going to be making like 10 to 100 times. Does that sound right?
That's what we're shooting for. We're trying to figure out right
that's
now.
the
Actually,
potential.
to be honest with you, what we're trying to figure out between Ghost and I I'm pretty sure he has the number. We just been so busy today that the last time we got to speak was right before this AMA, and our goal tonight was really to make everyone understand and let everyone ask the questions and understand the science behind the whole ecosystem, and why they should hold their Nucleus and what's the value in holding Nucleus. We wanted to give everybody that information. So, then we jumped in this other direction a little bit to talk about this other stuff that's going on. That stuff it's all been thought about. So the token, that's going to be to the point where, like I was trying to say in the beginning, even the launch day, the release amount will be different for everybody because they all spent different, right? But the percentage will be at what is it? 100x or 20x was like the big question. Where does everybody get their initial back? How quick can I get? Imagine that if we figure out a number, which I'm pretty sure we have, that everybody's going to be able to sell a portion of their shares the first day if they want, or they can leave it in and compound it, right? Which is the smart move. But if you want to sell the first day, like, because that's what everybody keeps saying, what's to stop nothing's stopping everybody on upon the Dex Runner launch from selling their shares to the public again. They're going to buy them for more money, and whatever the case may be, it's not going to impact anybody. But what the cool part about it is that everybody, no matter what they spent, is going to get a value that at a certain median number they can pull, and if they want, and you could literally everybody is going to have an opportunity to take their initial investment out within the first week or so.
Yeah, you just set it and forget it. Essentially, it's all about exactly.
It's just it's going to be like exactly. So as soon as it hits a number, there's going to be a spot where it hits a number, and since there's no impact and all that with the sale of it, and it's just going to be a transfer of a share from one person to the next. That once it reaches that value, because it's going to keep going up, you're going to get your initial back if you'd like right away. Like if you want to sell a fraction of your Dex Runner share to somebody else on day 4 at a certain number, and that's the number that you get your initial, that's what we're figuring. That's what we had to figure out. That's what Ghost and I talked about this morning, and that's what he did is behind the tokenomics behind it. And I mean, what sounds better? Like that's been our whole point, is delivering, right? We've delivered on everything we said we're going to deliver on. So we had to come up with a way to prove it, right? Really prove it. And what that means is means to me, what proof would mean to me on the other side of this AMA is how quick can I get my initial back? And that's your answer. It's going to be set to a number that, if it's day 1, 3, 4, 5, or 7, it's going to be pretty quick.
Now, this platform for tomorrow, do you know what time and the start? So
that
right
go on our
now,
Ghost
to like go.
So the platform release itself, so the platform, the ICO opening itself would be, I think we were talking about 8 p.m. EST, if I'm correct. Yeah. So 8 p.m. EST,
Okay.
the ICO will be open, and we will be putting out all the information about the seed rounds. And I think there's a bit of a confusion about the tomorrow's round is being the expensive. No, it's tomorrow's round is like the large amount. Like if you're buying like the first seed, there will be first round, and we might actually end up opening up the 4 years at one time, but it just depends on like well how it wants to go, how we want it to go, and like how much longer we want it to get the ICO on the ICO, how much longer we want the ICO to go. And it's kind of like the first round is going to be like the large scale round for like people who want to put large amount of money. The second tier would be for people who won't put a little more, some more money. Then there will be people who won't put like a little bit of money. So everyone has those seed rounds, and people who hold a lot of Nucleus tokens, they will get a better price. Like more Nucleus tokens you hold, a better price you get. So there's that as well. But if you are a Nucleus holder, you will get a better price than the public sale price. That's for sure.
So what's the criteria for round one?
Sorry?
What's the eligibility criteria for seed sale round one?
So it's basically tiers of the seed sale. The VIP level is I don't want to put this out. Let me see. I'm just gonna double confirm before I say anything. Make sure it's so the VIP level is I'm going to start with the whole public level is you don't have less than $50 or $100 worth of. If you have less than $50 worth of Nucleus, is the public. If you have more than $50 worth of Nucleus, or like if you have more than 2 million Nucleus tokens, you fall into holder level. And if you have more than 500 million Nucleus tokens, you fall into the VIP level. So it's just the rounds itself, they will run for a certain period of time, but you will be able to access those rounds at the same time. We are thinking about opening the rounds at the same time with those different price points, but because we know people want to like buy into it as first, and there's also that fear of the seed sale round being ended, being bought up. So there's like these maximum limits you can buy, all that's there, but yeah. So if you have more than 200 million tokens, I think it's about $50 worth of Nucleus tokens. You can participate as a Nucleus holder, and if you have more than 500 million tokens, and if you've been holding for that long, you can participate as a VIP holder.
Okay. Another question I have, uh, once nucleus 0 is available, so this original nucleus will be dead.
Yeah, it will be taken off exchanges once everyone has transferred the to Nucleus 0 from Nucleus, and that I mean by that I mean everyone.
Okay. So there will be time limit to swap those token into nucleus 0,
No.
right?
No, there won't be a time limit. You'll be able to swap it even in 2 years if you find out, okay, I still hold my old Nucleus, and they change it, we change it to Nucleus 0. Even in 2 years time, 3 years time, let's say even 10 years down the line, maybe that might be stretching it, but even then you will be able to swap out your Nucleus tokens into Nucleus 0. But and that's the thing, like you wouldn't I would advise you to swap it out as soon as possible, because that would give you the ability to stake in the Nucleus 0 token staking platform and receive more for your investment.
Correct. We don't want to also take that away for someone that doesn't either want their nucleus back yet, like their nucleus, they're enjoying the way their Nucleus 0 is growing and the staking and with the return they're getting. So we don't want to take that away from them by saying there's a time limit. So once you stake it, if you want to stake it, what he's saying is you want to stake it for 4 years, you can stake it for 4 years and take the returns that are being offered on staking that token, like because you actually provided help for that. Like you were the backbone. You provided liquid towards it. You did all that good stuff. You know what I mean? So you deserve the return on it. We don't want to take that away from that kind of person, that kind of investor. What Ghost had said weeks ago on the AMA was it'll be available to the point where if you want to be a day trader and swing trade, that'll be available. You can take it at that point. If you want to take it out, upon launch and get some money, you can do that. If you want to leave it in the compound, you can do that. Like, we're not taking anything off the table on how you want to be an investor. We're not telling you how you have to invest. We're giving you options on investments. Like, do you want to be a fast return, a slow return, a quick, all the different ways. But if they're all available to you, but putting a time limit on that would remove that, and that would limit you.
And we don't want to take away that option. Like, I've seen this happen in like other places where like that usually happens when there's like a relaunch or something. Like, this is not a relaunch, but like, some places, like, okay, people come to Telegram, they haven't been active in Telegram, and they come to find out, okay, now they have all tokens, which is they're useless, and they are past this time they could trade them. So we are taking away that worry that anyone would have, and allowing you till whenever you learn about it, whenever you know about it, whenever you find out about it. Once the Nucleus Zero is launched, you can, if you still have your all tokens, you can come in to our Nucleus to Nucleus Zero swap site, just press the button and get the Nucleus Zero tokens that you deserve, like your own, like your share of Nucleus Zero tokens. So we are not taking away that ability. We are not putting time limits on that. It's, if it has to run forever, we'll make sure it runs forever until like everyone transfers over.
Yeah, but value of this nucleus will decrease with time when nucleus zero will be there, right?
Yeah, exactly. But they will have, like, even if this decreases, since Nucleus Zero will be going up in price. Say someone right now has 1,000 Nucleus tokens. They forget to swap it into Nucleus Zero. They forget to transfer it in, like, merge it into that Nucleus Zero token. And in 2 years, they come back and find out, okay, there's the Nucleus Zero token, but I still have my old Nucleus. So they can go into the site and get put in their 1,000 Nucleus tokens and get the Nucleus Zero tokens out. Even if they find out, like, in 3 years, they go and get the Nucleus Zero tokens out, and they will get the Nucleus Zero tokens at the value the day they swap.
Yeah. Okay.
So another
Yeah, at
question that
least
I've
they will
gotten a
get
lot.
something.
Sorry, I had two questions. Whoever, I don't know, whoever wants to ask first, go ahead.
Yeah, I got a question. For this, for is the code done? Is that everything done, and you're just waiting for liquidity, or are you still gonna have to work on the code?
Nucleus Zero? Or are you
No,
talking about
for Dex Runner.
Oh, the extra, the code is actually being audited right now. The code and everything for all the tokens, all the platforms, the code is done. We're not waiting for any of that stuff done. This is the actual initial offering of the Dex Runner, the ICO, pre-sale, first say, I don't know, like ICO, IDO, because there's so many things involved in here. Like, because when you
Let's
buy through
call it
this
an
ICO,
IPO. Let's keep it
yeah.
an IPO, and the reason
Yeah.
being because we paid for it already, honestly, and it's a development offering. It's truly what it is. We're not looking to raise money because we need the money to get this off the ground. We're offering this as a development offering. We're saying we already did the hard work in development. Here it is. It's offered to the community to buy shares and be an owner in this. So, if it was an initial ICO or an IPO, then it wouldn't really hold the same type of weight.
Yeah, because we paid for the platforms, and this is just your chance to, okay, take some of that out and be an actual shareholder of the platform itself. We're offering you the chance to be the shareholder of this platform, and on top of that, get that tradable token too. So like you're getting, it's like a 2-for-1 deal that you get only once in your lifetime.
And let's be honest about really what it is. We need you all. We need you all in the way because by getting on board with it, and being on with it, and being shareholders, what that's going to do for everything, for DeFi and set in general, is going to be great things. So that's why that's the second part reason why we're doing it this way. Sure, at this point we paid for it, right? Why not just launch it into the world and sell and keep all the profit for ourselves? Well, I'll tell you why. Because that isn't going to do the purpose, and the culture and the goal of what the project is. The project is to get massive amounts of people to use it, to use it as safe passage, right? To be the platform, to be the social platform for micro crypto or whatever you want to call it. So knowing that, we need you as shareholders and owners, because who's going to push their own investment the hardest? Owners, right? And making you all owners of a project or a business, that's basically a fail-safe method. Everybody, if you don't want to be involved anymore, then the work's too hard or whatever the case may be, like, then that would be something that you'd find out eventually down the road. It ain't for you. And the best part about it is you didn't lose finding out.
I plan
So
to stake. I plan to stake, right? And let's say a couple of years later, I want to unstake. Does it have like a lock-in period where I can release the money?
Go for that,
If you
Ghost.
want to stake, yeah. If you want to stake when you are staking, you will be picking up like, okay, I want to stake it for 6 years. I want to stake this for 2 years. So if you stake it for say 6 months, what you can do is you can put it to renew. You can renew the stakes, and if you stake it for 6 months and you come after 3 years, say you come after 2 years and 8 months, you will receive the full return for that stake periods of two years and 6 months. Those five periods of 6 months that you staked, that you put into the clause, you will receive the full amount. And for those 2 months, if you unlock early, there might be a penalty in that, because you won't be getting the complete return. But you'll be able
Okay.
to unlock it as much as possible, as long as possible, and you will be able to renew the staking amounts, and you will be able to put like short stakes or longer stakes. Obviously longer staking will give you better return, shorter staking will give you lower return. So it's like that.
What will happen to if we stake? What do we get dividends also?
So if you stake, you are able to receive a profit share. Like, so if you get Dextrana shares through the ICO, and you will receive an exact percentage of those shares, share profit shares. But if you stake Nucleus, and if you stake Dextrana, you will also receive a profit share from the platform, but it won't be as high as Dextrana shares, but you will still receive a profit share from the platform. That's the only
I
difference
see.
between, like, so the reason why you will receive a large amount of share, like an exact 1-to-1 share percentage, is because you are going to be one of the early adopters. So imagine if you were an early adopter of Bitcoin, that early adopter advantage you're going to get through buying the shares from the ICO.
Okay, so we buy from the ICO. Let's say I have like say 250 million um nucleus right now, right?
Mhm.
And I want to participate, and I have another, let's say, $5,000. Um,
Mhm.
how would that be advisable enough, or is it not enough for the first offering because
So
you said it's a
that
large
so
group only?
So here's the thing, like, if the offering tiers are based upon your, the amount of nucleus you hold. But after listening to everyone's, I feel like we will open up all the tiers, like all the holder tiers, the VIP
Oh,
tiers, the speed
okay.
tiers. So we will be opening up all the tiers for everyone to participate. That way, the only difference would be the price difference for each round. But I feel
Okay.
like listening to you all, I feel like we should do that, and that way give you guys the opportunity to
Yeah, I think
be,
that's
yeah.
better. I think that's
Yeah.
better. Make everyone happy.
hmm So we will probably give you, like, we will, I think, give you guys all the opportunity to get into those seed rounds, all the tiers. We will open it up.
The amount of nucleus you hold at this moment right now, or if you, let's say, purchase more, or up until the point of the ICO, whatever, you basically summed it up pretty well. But whatever you are going to be working towards, whatever you put into it, you'll get. It depends on how much nucleus you hold for the price discount, if you want to call it, on DexRunner itself when on the ICO. So
Yeah.
Sums it up pretty well.
Yeah, what happened is
And
like when you change your mind, right? You change your mind. Okay, wait a minute. I'm just gonna go full on this one because this is a great project. Then you change your mind and you'll be on the like the VIP level. You do it if you close it like if you put it in different days, right? It will be different, right? If you're gonna do it in a staggered um classification for the buyers.
Well, sure.
yeah.
Time, and you need more nucleus, and nucleus costs more at that time. Then yes, it's going to cost you more.
Yeah, that's going to be the thing. So say you have enough to participate in the holder round, and you go in and say, okay, I'm going to participate in the holder round, and I'm good with that price. But later on, you feel like, okay, I want more, but I want the cheaper price. So then you come and try to buy nucleus. Then by the time you come back to buy the nucleus is going to be at a higher price
Right,
level because yeah.
right.
So I mean,
Okay.
if you want the VIP price level, or if you want the best discount, I would advise you first, at the first chance you get, buy up the supply you need to access those levels, because by the time you decide later on, the supply you need to access those levels will be a higher
Yeah, that's
price.
right.
Yeah.
Right, right, right. I see. Yeah.
The early holders also, like obviously at this launch of Nucleus, if you were an early holder and have held your bag throughout all of the weeks that we've been involved in growing, it rewards you for obviously being a holder. And that was the incentive from Nucleus right from launch, was that there was going to be incentives with the tie-in to the mother program, if you want to call it the mother project, which is DexRunner. You're rewarded. So that's always been one of the we talked about in Nucleus itself, and this is now the treat. The longer you held, or the more you have right now, is going to get you better seed sale, which has kind of been our guidelines from the get-go, and what we promise. So it's kind of delivery, and it's like a little treat.
Exactly. And more, and once
Okay.
Dextrana
All
launches,
ready.
yeah, this is just the first thing you guys are going. This is just the first trade. You guys first get the chance to be actual shareholders of the platform, and then as shareholders of the platform, with holding your nucleus and holding your Dextrana, you will get the chance to actually go into the projects that are launching through Dextrana and be involved in those projects as well. So it's like the opportunities, the advantages you have, they are going to continue. They are going to keep coming. They are going to keep adding to being a nucleus holder, and from tomorrow a nucleus and a Dextrana holder.
Exactly. That's been one of the topics too in our discussions as a team, is making sure that I know there are other projects that if you want to see emerge, or kind of become in a bigger ecosystem, and all of a sudden one of the tokens becomes kind of redundant. Well, we didn't want that to happen to Nucleus, and that's what has been a main topic for us as a team, and what we want to achieve is that if you've been supporting us, and if you're with Nucleus, you're going to get all the benefits, and it's going to keep benefiting you, because it's an ecosystem that works together and like works in unity, like our team. And we just kind of went with that. And as I've said before, transparency and integrity have always been the focus of the team, and we're trying to deliver on everything we've told you guys, and I think we've hit every checkbox. So it's exciting.
And make sure everybody text through the stuff you might have missed in the Telegram when we're done at some point, or if you get a chance. If you haven't, there's a lot of nice visuals, explanations, written explanations. They've been throughout the in Telegram. So I would definitely, scroll back a little bit to get an opportunity in some of the different parts of the web pages and the product. Is think we explained enough, or like is there any more questions that we can get, or you tell me.
I want to say one thing if I got an opportunity. Yeah, no, shout out to all the admins and mods and everybody that's been running the ship in the Nucleus main chat. It's been refreshing to come in and see a positive vibe every time, and just trying to keep it real and bring a product. And I think that's been a focus also, has been the community, which has gotten to us to where we are. And to be completely honest, I think the best chart I've ever seen in DeFi, hands down. But that alone, like, as we all know, all big projects need a community, and I feel like as a team and as a unity, we're trying to deliver both a very solid community as well as utility and everything else that we have planned. So it's like we're trying to deliver on all ends. So we hope, the community leaders have been awesome, and yeah, it's just been great to be a part of, and thank you everybody.
Absolutely. If anybody been there since day one, that was the very, very, very first part of the very first day. Nucleus AMA was we're a safe community. They're not that kind of place, and you know what the part is? It's really working out. I've literally witnessed, I've been a part of, I've been in conversations with, because we all know, the fun and the truth behind everybody has their, egos or competition and things. Competition.
Casey, you're
Casey, can I get a second? Can I? Okay, I'm going to stop this recording and start another recording or something, because it's already reaching 2 hours.